into the kingdom.
When Nickelodeon was black. Yeah, Nickelodeon was in their bag when it came to black media, bro. Whether it be shows, movies, music, the music. And in a time where diversity wasn't pushed as hard as it is now, just going back and looking at their catalog is actually crazy. So with this video, man, we about to dive into the world of black Nickelodeon. Without further ado, let's get into it.
Hey, I'm Lil JJ, and I've got a brand new show called Just Jordan.
Starting off with the very first black show to ever air on Nickelodeon, My Brother and Me, in 1994. A show that follows brothers Dee Dee and Alfred, growing up in North Carolina. Now I would love to give this show props for not only being the first black show on Nickelodeon, but also, you know what I'm saying, theme song hard, but I can't lie, the acting in this show is horrible.
Don't you think you're a little too old to be playing with dolls, Dee Dee? And besides, I don't play with him. He just hangs around.
This show only lasted one season and it's completely understandable. Now something a little interesting to note is that the creators of the show, Calvin Brown Jr. and Elung Adele, also worked on shows like The Parkers, Proud Family, Married with Children, Moesha, Rock, A Different World, and 227. So they might have had one miss, but trust and believe they was still cooking, man. After My Brother and Me came Kenan and Kel in 96. And what is it to say about Kenan and Kel, man? This show is a certified classic. You got Kenan and Kel fresh off the hype and all that, bringing in Coolio to do the intro, and just an overall fun and goofy show with a catchphrase that's still recognized to this day.
Who loves orange soda? Kel loves orange soda.
There's just no way you can downplay Kenan and Kel. The show was a juggernaut on Nickelodeon, lasting a strong 4 seasons and even getting its own movie. And to this day, I don't think we've seen a bigger duo on Nickelodeon than Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel goated, simple as that. Now jumping off the hype to a show that was a little more under the radar, it's The Journey of Alan Strange from 1997. A sci-fi show about an alien taking form of a little black dude, learning the ways of human life. It's kinda weird with this show being so obscure, knowing that it had 3 seasons, spanning over 3 years. I mean, with 3 seasons, it would have to have some type of audience. But if you bring it up to most people, they don't even know what you're talking about. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really know. I'm a 2000s baby, so I ain't gonna really know nothing about this show's heyday. So y'all 90s babies in the comments, tell me how big the show was, man. Cousin Skeeter from 1998. A show about a puppet named Skeeter coming to live with his cousin Bobby in New York. Now one thing I'm just now realizing about this show, that it is literally full of black all-stars. Not only is the theme song sung by 702, with them remixing their song Stilo, created one of the best theme songs to come out of a kids show, no debate. But also with the actors, we got my dude Ronald Richard, who went on to co-star in 101. Rondell Shirlington, also known as one of the best TV dads from Disney Channel with That's So Raven. Angela Means, aka Felicia from Friday. Belle Bellamy, dude is in literally everything. And Megan Good, who is also in everything. Now although this show is more well known than something like Alan Strange, it's still relatively obscure. I don't know what's up with Nickelodeon just hiding certain shows like they didn't exist. I mean, they did at least acknowledge this show when they brought Megan Good back on their YouTube channel, but stuff like Alan Strange and My Brother and Me, gone. Nobody knew about it. And they just won't bring it back up. Now Cousin Skeeter ran for 3 seasons before ending in 2001. And coming right after in the same year is one of my favorite shows, Taina. Now the thing about Taina is, it ain't really a black show. I mean, it follows a Puerto Rican girl with her family as she tries to become a famous singer. But at the same time, you can see why people would associate it with black culture, as it holds a lot of elements from it. And that's what made Taina dope for real. It shows love to 2 cultures at the same time. And I already did a whole dive into Taina last year, so if you want to hear more about this show, I suggest you go check that video out. But long story short, Taina is dope, it should've got more seasons, and Nickelodeon upload Christina Fidel's interview to YouTube, man. Stop playing, man. Now following right after Taina came the Nick Cannon show in 2002. I mean, this show was basically just Nick Cannon being Nick Cannon. If you've seen him in anything else, you've seen this show. The Romeo Show from 2003. A show following Romeo playing a fictional version of himself, as he tries to make it big in the music scene. Now this is the first show I vividly remember watching when it first aired, going on for 3 years for 4 seasons. Now with that being said, I was never that interested in it. If it wasn't a cartoon or a laugh track sitcom, I did not care. But I was young though, you know what I'm saying? I might be alone in that statement. Y'all tell me in the comments if y'all used to mess with Romeo, man. A year after Romeo ended, came Just Jordan, a show following a kid moving to a new city trying to fit in. Now Just Jordan is one of the fastest shows to get canceled off this list. ending only a year later after it came out, apparently due to the writer's strike, ending with only 30 episodes to its name. It's crazy because before the writer's strike, they were working on the 3rd season. It makes you think if the writer's strike didn't happen, how far would this show have gone? Either way, long live this show and its goofy little theme song, man. Now with 2007, we actually have 2 more shows to talk about. One show being only 1 episode long, that being Teapot, created by the voice of Grimm, Greg Eagles. This show was supposed to follow a little boy with dreams of becoming a rapper. Now of course, not only having Grimm's voice actor, but having a lot of the same crew as Billy and Mandy. This show is similar to it in both style and humor, with Billy and Mandy just being a little more bouncy. But it's a shame the show ain't get picked up, man, because this really could have been something cool. But it is what it is, I guess. Now the next and final show is True Jackson VP, a show following a 15-year-old girl as she gets hired in a high-end fashion company. Now for a show not made by CHILDISH.NATURE, it definitely got its fair share of love, with 3 seasons, a movie, and even a series finale. But just like Taina, I also did a full video on this, so if you want to hear more about it, go watch that video. And yeah, that's basically it for this era of Nickelodeon, man. Well, at least when it comes to the shows, because the music, oh my god, bro, let's get into it.
Let's give a French round of sound for Mary J. Blige!
The music coming out of Nickelodeon was crazy back in the day, man. You might think from a kid's network that the music that come out of it is about to just be campy, little corny little songs. No, not at all. From the soundtracks to the theme songs to the special guests, man, Nickelodeon was in their bag. Just starting off with the soundtracks, we had Good Burger coming in with artists like 702, Mint Condition, The Fireside, Warren G, and Tracy Spencer, the 702 song being the best one on there. The Rugrats came out of nowhere with Take You There, featuring Maya and Blackstreet, a song that ain't got no business being as cold as it is. They also had Who Let the Dogs Out, because yeah. The Jimmy Neutron movie had Parents Just Don't Understand with Lil Romeo, 3LW, and Nick Cannon. With this song being a remake of Will Smith's version back in the 80s. A better remake, I'ma just, you know what I'm saying, put that out there. Lil Romeo got brought back to do the Hey Arnold soundtrack with Two Way. And 3LW went to guest star in the 2nd episode of Taina, getting to perform their song No More, Lisp and all. They was in their bag when it came to Taina, man. Not only with the guest stars, I already mentioned 3LW, but they had Joe in there. Joe being fresh off the hype of his song I Wanna Know.
Tell me what I gotta do to please you. Baby, anything you say, I'll do.
Kelly Rowland popped up in that episode. I mean, she ain't sing, but she was there. Even Lil Romeo showed up in the final episode. But the best music in Taina didn't even come from the special guests, because the show's original songs was actually kind of hard too. You got a nice little bump with Maritza's song I'ma Level Me. Then you get hit with a salsa R&B mix with Carnival, the friendship song at the end, which is crazy, and Loving You, which will stand as one of my favorite songs from the show, hands down. I already said, man, Taina is cold. I already did a video on it. Go watch that video. Now, Taina was going crazy with the music in their own right, but when it comes to Nickelodeon, there is no other show that compares than all that. I mean, just to start it off, the theme song is sung by TLC, and may I add, this is also the best theme song in Nickelodeon history. Ain't no debate there, don't even try. But then we got the guest performances, which honestly blew my mind with the people they brought on here, man. With the creator of all that, Brian Roberts, being a huge fan of hip-hop, we was able to get special guests like Nas, Brandy, Erykah Badu, Mary J. Blige, Aaliyah, 112, Run DMC, A Tribe Called Quest, and even Lauryn Hill. It is insane to have that type of lineup for a kid show of all things, bro. Almost everybody I just mentioned are legends now, and just to think you got to see them perform on Nickelodeon. But speaking of performing, we cannot forget when Kel hopped on that song with Immature. That was crazy, and just to think you got to witness all of that on air. This is why we say Nickelodeon ain't the same.
I've had to fudge a few rhymes like trips to different places, missions that you don't know. Nah, cuz, what's cracking? Yeah, for sure.
From 1994 to 2007, Nickelodeon was setting up for back-to-back black media. And what a joy it was to be there to witness it all, man. And real quick, before somebody get in the comments talking about Nickelodeon had more black shows after 2007, why you cut it off right there, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I don't know what a young Dylan is. What is a Lele? And I ain't no disrespect to your young cats, you know what I'm saying? If that's your show, that's your show. But what is that? And I ended at 2007 because that's kind of when Nickelodeon just took a big shift. And that vibe that was there before, was long gone. Plus, Nickelodeon really started to move different after that. If it wasn't SpongeBob, iCarly, and Victorious, they did not care. That being said, it was fun looking back at all the black shows on Nickelodeon, you know what I'm saying? Back when they was diverse without trying to be. Because I'm not for all that forced diversity, you know what I'm saying? Just throwing in a black character just to fit a quota. At the end of the day, I'd much rather have an all-white cast than a forced all-black cast. Because when you do it like that, I know you don't really mean it. I know your heart really ain't in it. So like I said, I'll never be somebody who wanna force diversity. But when you do it right, when you do it with your heart in it, when you do it with love and care for the culture, that's when you can make art with an impact that lasts for generations. Now with that being said, I'm still on y'all heads, man. Go watch the Taina video. I mean, the audio ain't that crisp, but I think the points I get across, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.